Hello, Time fam. You are welcome to another exciting episode of The Time. My name is Ogbolor, and I'll be holding the fort today because my sisters are not around. The men them said they want to take over. And we say, okay, fine, oh, come on The Time and let's see what you have. So without much further ado, let me introduce you to my amazing guests who are here today. First of all, he calls himself a spiritual intercessor for single people. He's gonna tell us what he means by that too. So he's a matchmaker. I said I should not call him that, but that's the kind of field and the thing that he does, you know. And then he's also the convener of the VerysingleLagosians and Lagos Singles Festival. And he's also a founder of Pair Dates. It's a platform where you can go to find love or your partner. That's what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Isaac Odugbeso.
Thanks so much. I like you to use the word Honorable Isaac.
Sorry, sir. Honorable Isaac.
God bless you.
You are welcome.
God bless you. God bless you.
All right. You know, I said the men them are taking over. So our next guest, I'm sure you know him already. I'll say his name first. He is Michael Uba, who is an MC, comedian, actor, influencer. I'm sure you know him as James from Jennifer's Diaries, but of course he is also a relationship coach. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ogbolor. I'm still going to ask you the meaning of Ogbolor because the first time I was like Ogbono. No, I'm still going to ask you the meaning of Ogbolor. But you know, let me quickly just tell us, you know, the topic that we will be dissecting, or they will be helping me, you know, dissect today. We're talking about the role of relationship counselors and matchmakers in the dating scene. Everybody has been complaining that dating scene is bad, dating scene is bad, dating scene, it has, you know, nothing is outside. But these people have made a profession, or they have learned in order to be a help to you. So we're going to talk to them about, you know, matchmaking and dating right here in Nigeria in 2023. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
I feel somehow being the only lady. You people want to
Why?
take over the show.
Why?
We're good.
Too much masculine energy.
Yeah, too much testosterone.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, so I mean, first of all, Ogbolor, I was talking about that name. Please
Yeah.
tell us about that Ogbolor.
No, it dates way back. I mean, this is almost 20 years now.
Yes.
Almost 20 years. I've been in the entertainment industry, from dance to everything. So I started comedy as a particular character. The character was like, you know, a type of character that people like to just call Ogbolor. You know, so it's like when they say Bolo, you know. So I was in UI and people just in my particular hall, people just gave me that name, you know, because of the character I played. So every time I get on stage, people love to see the character. And then when I got into comedy, the name just went, you know. I tried changing at some point, but to something else, you know, because back then, some kind of funny names used to work for comedians. You just hear some type of names. You hear mosquito, you hear some type of name. So back then it worked. No, I want to go for my actual name.
Oh, Michael Uba.
Yeah, I just want to go with Michael. You know, but later somebody said, maybe here I go die. Has he died? No. Maintain your Ogbolor. Because then, I mean, I was on the early Flatmates, you know, the first one. Yes. So I think the last few episodes, I was there with that character. I wrote for those episodes. I wrote myself into those episodes. And then I went on with the name. So that particular character, just the name went. So I said, man, let me just keep it a beg.
We're glad you did, though, because imagine, welcome, Michael, the comedian. You know, sweet a beg. You know, sweet. And Isaac, for you, let's talk about, you know, being a matchmaker or creating a platform that helps people find love. Why? Do you have breakfast? Like, what happened? Why did you feel the need to do what you're doing now?
It is a mantle from God.
Hallelujah, amen. I receive fast.
Mantle.
It's a spiritual burden. Please, I'm joking. So for me, I think it was, I started just recently, I'll be honest. But I realized that I'd always wanted to talk about stuff, like have conversations about single people. And, you know, and it was 2021. And so, funny enough, a mutual friend that I discussed, I don't want to mention his name, I'll mention after.
I hope I'm there, you mentioned
She understand, and we just spoke about it, and I said I wanted to do something. And I wanted to do a story talk. For me, it was just a talk show where I anchor and then matchmake people, you know, just talk about So the tour was titled Why Are So Many People Single in Lagos? Because I realized I had a lot of amazing eligible friends that were single, but nobody they date each other. You know, either from scars or traumas or just fear of commitment or anxiety, attachment, anxious attachment. So there was a lot.
Yeah.
So I said, let me just start that. And so we started it, and it was amazing. We had the first show, we had about 200 people.
Wow.
We even had like a bank come sponsor it. This thing is unwell. And then I started, and fast forward, now we have done over 15 events. Our last event, we had over close to 1,005 people.
Of 1,005 single people?
Yeah, single people.
There are plenty in Lagos. So.
We have plenty.
And then we now decided to create like different products out of that. So that's why we have the event, Lagos Singles Festival. We have the tech dating platform, which is Pair, which is not fully out, but it's functional, you know. We have Bubblegum, which is a preventive sexual health product. We have a podcast called Lagos Men Have Changed. And
why are you starting your podcast with lies?
It's not lies.
Have Lagos men changed?
I want to speak to that.
We have to start to, I mean, the men have to, frankly, a lot of guys are speaking up now. Because,
yes, and I like that, to be honest.
No, because over time, there's been that notion that, you know, men, you know, were not emotional and everything, which again, to an extent, we are more logical than emotional. You get, so yeah, but over time, women have been speaking for men. You get, for some time, women have been speaking for men. So now it's like, okay, there are no good men in Lagos.
Men are
I said, please, talk about your ex-boyfriends, talk about your brothers, talk about, please.
I probably you'll be dragged for this.
No, I mean, let us we'll drag ourselves.
Yeah.
What to generator?
Because they will just cut out that part that he said, women have been speaking for men.
No, but a lot of women have been speaking for men. A lot of men have not been speaking. You get, so at the end of the day, now most men are coming out to speak, you know, and I think these conversations are important. So women should really calm down on speaking for men. Let men speak. So let's encourage more men to speak.
I really like that, to be honest, because as men are speaking, and funny enough, some women are now complaining that, how will you be with a man that talks too much? But is that not what we've been asking for?
That's the
for men
problem.
to talk,
It is
for
the
us
problem.
To know. Instead of that to be quiet.
They say it's quiet. He's too quiet. He talk. He say you are just too. You are a sissy. Next, there's always nothing.
They say, what's the? I've forgotten that word. I'll remember that word now. Well, let's move on. I'll remember it during the course of the show.
But men just need to, you know, more men. You know, you see a lot of podcasts today that all women gisting about men. You know, and you're like, that's why, thank God we're here today. Let us speak.
Thank you for shading us, but
For
that's
the men.
why we have you. That's why we have you on the show.
But for a better context, I think that it's not even about talking so much. I think it's that men are able to communicate their emotional, you know, process and say, we have been telling men to process your emotions and speak out. Not necessarily talk too much, but just say that you are bothered about
that
something.
Is wrong. I really like that, you know, men are doing that, and I like the podcast, you know. And, you know, for you, Ogbolor, we all know you as an actor. I mean, for the longest time, I have known you with a pink scarf or a bandana on your head, rather. And now, you know, finding out that you're a relationship coach and you've been a coach for like 2-3 years now. What prompted the move, the decision?
First, it was major heartbreak, you know. Breakfast that was served on a platter of gold with turkey and juice. You know, better one, you know. But at the same time, I've been a lover of knowledge. You know, at the same time, even with relationships and all, constantly finding myself in places where we had to discuss relationship-related, you know, matters and all of that. And of course, again, finding out that I had helped a number of friends with their relationships. I had saved 2 of my friends' marriages. So I felt, okay.
Savior.
Okay, man, savior. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, last year, one of my friends just, you know, it was my birthday. It was my birthday last year. And a friend of mine just called me and said, man, guy, look, that thing you told myself and my wife has kept us today.
Wow.
You know, and for me, it was so more of these things. I decided, okay, fine. Let me go into this thing professionally.
So you got training?
Yeah, I'm still going through trainings. You know, the training, no, they end.
Yes.
So, I mean, of course, personal experiences, going through mentorship, you know, with relationship coaches who have gone ahead of you, you know, and of course, reading books, getting more knowledge and all. Yeah.
I think it's very important. And you've said something about how you've helped your friends, you've advised your friends, and I'm sure even for you, you've had to experience. You've met a lot of single people. Don't worry, have no
I
fear.
don't advise anybody.
You don't advise. No, but I mean,
joking.
but
I'm
you've
joking, I'm
met
joking.
a lot of single people.
Yeah.
And if there's one common comment, because me, I'm part of Comment Readers Association on Instagram, and one thing I've seen is everybody's always like, oh, there's nothing outside again. All the good men have married. All the good women, all the women outside are for the streets. This one, everybody just keeps talking about, the dating pool, the dating scene, especially maybe in Lagos, in Lekki, I don't know, in Nigeria, they say it's so messed up.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree that the dating scene right now is messed up, or do you have another perspective to it? Because I have a lot of good girls who have met unworthy guys, and I have a lot of guys who have met
A lot of good guys.
a lot of
who have
good
met
guys
a lot of
who have
unworthy
met a lot of
girls.
unworthy girls. So
Yes.
it's like, why are the good people not meeting each other? So what do you have to say about the dating scene? Do you agree that it's messed up, or do you think they're not just doing it right?
I think
that's
expectations.
it.
Okay, yeah.
I think expectations are now wild. We have more expectations from the experience, from the negative experiences of so many people in the past. Again, society too is different. Now people are hungrier, and so the demand for certain things from relationships has changed too. So certain things, there's different factors that have come into it. I don't think it's a case where good people know the Lagos again, and all the great guys are no longer out there and all. There's still so many people out there who are wonderful, and I believe will find themselves. But it shouldn't be something you take and say to yours, because I believe life, how you project life, what you see, what you say, eventually happens. If you feel that there are no more good guys, no more wonderful women out there, that will become your reality. You get? So for me, even though so many people are saying all that they've been saying, I still think perspective is everything. If you choose to see that, man, look, I think I'm still going to find good there, you will find good.
So
Just
it's
give
all
yourself
about
some
speaking
time.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. A lot of people, those statements sometimes are just emotional, to be honest, from bad experiences, which sometimes people who are even saying it were contributors to their bad experiences, but nobody takes accountability.
Accountability is such an important issue right now, because whenever you hear any story from people that are broken up, nobody's
to blame.
Nobody is to blame.
Yeah,
Nobody.
we all point fingers, so people are not changing.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, and for you as well. I mean, meeting. You think?
So for me, it's different levels of it can be viewed from different angles. So I tell people that from my experience in the dating scene, that I have been able to organize numerous events and do all sort of things with the dating pool, right? There are two major eligible status, right?
Yeah.
And here are two things. We have the hot cakes in the markets are the guys in the early 30s and the girls in their early 20s. Fact of life. They are the most eligible people. First, the guys in their early 30s and above have become more, they've become the hot cake because they are coming into a wealth status, coming to understand their mind, are able to grow, right? Then girls in the early 20s they are hot cake season, and they have a lot of people. So you find a lot of babes.
And they have options.
Yes, so you have, it's an options thing. I was even saying that me studying the evolution of dating apps in America up to now is that from days of Plenty of Fish to Tinder, is that people have moved from slow dating to fast dating. Before you can just have one pair per day, now you're like 30. Do you understand? So what is happening now is that we have more people. You have baby babes in like their late 30s, and now and the guys are in their early 20s. Guys, I don't want to marry a baby in my early 30s also. Let me go for a lot of things happen. I mean, that's just one, and I stand to be corrected. I said from my experience, right? The second thing is that I also feel like because of the evolution of men and women, especially in the world today, we are not able to find a lot of eligible men. Now, both financial, mental, but a lot of things to able to understand and say that. I mean, and that's why there's a married men pandemic in Lagos, because I tell people that married men are the best boyfriends. Do you understand? Unfortunately, and it's not something that we are, pushing, but I'm telling you that this is what is happening. And because also society had not taught men, we don't pay attention to how men have been raised
I think
a lot more than women. Men are men will be patted on the back for sleeping with multiple people. Men will be patted on the back for, if you have a woman, like, yeah, if man and woman comes home, if man brings results, they are more focused on the, you understand that kind of, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that the levels to this thing. Then women have also become very postmodern. They are beginning to understand.
When you say postmodern, are you trying to say feminists or what? Or is it different?
I shall not be quoted. Postmodern has different spectrums.
okay.
There's feminism, there's globalization, there is a lot of things that I don't even want to go to be honest. But women have become very postmodern, and it's a good thing and a great thing, especially in the context of Africa, because they have been put down for too long.
Yeah.
And so what's happening that we don't have a lot of men also that are able to match that vibe. So you don't find a guy in his early 30s has commitment issues, and because there are options.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And there are babes that are you, okay, and then he moves. But so only men that are able to be complete.
What do you mean complete?
So what I mean complete is to understand that first, I am not defined by how many hearts that I break. I'm not defined by how many babes want me. I'm not defined as being the center of attention. I am a man of purpose that dedicates my time to raise and nurture my woman and my children.
Wow, that's such a deep.
Yeah, that you see women as
so
a
deep.
So the spectrum, it's also at the middle, because you also don't want to go and try and change somebody, but you also need to know that. So the another major problem is that we're at the highest level of cancel culture, which is an overcorrection from people accepting a lot of things. So our parents stayed and endured in marriages, and so for us it's like,
I'm not going to do
I
that.
can't be this guy.
I'm not. Yeah.
So, but if we can't throw away the baby and the bathwater, so instead of us to stay at the middle and say, I can't throw away the baby and the bathwater. However, I am also very concerned about treating and saying that the fact that you are not strong in this aspect, I can culture you. So that's why Lagos babes, married men are not very concerned that you are, baby, what Peter, don't worry. I'll take care.
I'll take care of you.
Do you understand? So that's my own, that's my postulation.
I mean, you said postulation. What's use big English?
I apologize.
Also, are you single?
Sometimes.
You said sometimes. We're going to get to that, we're going to get to that. But talking about, dating scene and everything, when, and your profession, relationship coach, matchmaker, when is now the right time to go and see or seek therapy? Is it that you go yourself, or, I mean, people that come to see a relationship coach, do you say it as, seeking therapy, or what's the English for that?
For what in particular?
So if you're coming to see a relationship coach, let's go for therapy? Because let's go for counseling.
No, there are people who do certain jobs. A relationship coach will coach you through a relationship. Some people need therapy. Therapy is deeper than that. It's that one is.
I have my answers to this question, but go on first.
You can go ahead.
No, bro.
But people often just think relationship coaching is a relationship coach can advise you to go for therapy from someone else who that is their own, specialty.
So when do you see a relationship coach? Is it before just, random? Maybe if I'm single now and I'm trying to maybe attract the right guy, for example, I go to see a relationship coach.
No, I mean,
or is it my boyfriend and I, because I don't know how many guys we want to follow a girl and say, let's go and sit down and let someone tell us how to run our relationship. I feel like we don't even understand the importance of having counseling or a relationship.
It's a lot.
Lagos
needs therapy.
The Nigeria first needs.
Are you joking?
Nigeria needs Nigerians need therapy. Lagosians need extra therapy. You get, because a lot of things influence so many things within. Then people within the VI Lekki zone need another type of therapy.
They need deliverance.
No, because, to be honest, a lot of these things have really messed so many. A lady who has been with a number of guys within the Lekki environment, who also probably are well-to-do, and naturally from that kind of relationship, her status one way or the other has, in her mind, has been elevated somehow. Naturally, she thinks it's a type of way. Now, there's a guy who probably comes into her life later after those kind of relationship with this Lekki, but probably not even from Coco Michael, maybe from somewhere inside Shango Tedo, which is still on the, which is still on the island, but it's inside.
Wow.
But and then comes and probably is at her level, maybe they step higher than her. She wants to, because ladies date up, you get. She wants to compare this guy now to the other lucky boy. You get, and most times they can never measure up.
I don't like that as an example, but go on.
Oh, you say it like you have it.
No, I don't like that you're saying
because I'm pointing that.
And it's when you mention Shango Teddy, but go on, sir, go on.
You understand? So at the end of the day, there's a lot of comparison going on because of this island life and all of that. So, and these are part of the reasons why so many people are finding it difficult to date, because you've had people in your life who probably one way or the other, maybe you've dated this guy taking you to Dubai, that one that's taking you to London and all, and decided not to marry you because you are flexing. I mean, a guy can literally flex you and not, it's like taking care of your ram at home that you kill one day, but you've overfed the ram so it becomes fat for the special day when you will turn it to suya. So for some ladies,
Your analogies are
it happens.
Great.
And, comparison starts to set in, and these things in the dating scene has caused a lot of problems. Comparison, you're comparing with this. Some guys also comparing ladies to, there are those babes on the island who, because of the other guys that they've dated, so one way or the other, their mindset has changed.
Very experienced.
Yeah, very experienced. Some of them are a bit more demanding because the other guys met you at a level or are taking you to a level, so they're setting demands. So the guy comes now, he has to try to meet up to the other guy you've dated, and all of these things are messing up the dating scene on the island.
So is that what you say is the major problem that is going on?
It's part of it.
So what would you not say is the major problem that over your experiences that you've seen that, these people have? Like maybe if you talk to 10 people, that at least 5 of them are coming with this issue or with this problem in the relationship.
So, like I said before, Lagos needs therapy. And the biggest problem that is happening is that people are not starting therapy and counseling early enough.
Yeah.
In fact, I stand to be corrected, but where this is being done the most is in the church. So we have marriage counseling, but let's take a few steps back and do individual counseling before they enter marriage. Because what you find is that a lot of people have traumas.
Yeah.
What causes this trauma?
So a lot of things. From past relationships, from parents, from Nigeria.
Background.
From background.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, just to understand, right, that people have, deep traumas. And the truth is that, and that's why we say that a lot of men need to come out the more. And because people feel like, I remember there was a time I wanted to actually do therapy. So that
you wanted to go through therapy or you wanted to be a therapist?
No. I wanted to go through therapy.
Why? Someone broke your heart?
No, it wasn't about breaking your heart. You see, that's the stigmatization we have to come.
I'm sorry.
It's not that the woman.
Therapy is not always needed just for relationships.
Yes, it's not that the woman's fee at the time. And I said, maybe I'll just pray to God because it's no more your money.
Yeah.
So I want almost 5,000. What's going on?
For one session.
But it was good, and I think after the first one, I just say I'm okay. And I even say my friend, we should do it together, I'll be gingered. My friend say, wait till they tell me, make a tell me. So if you shared
you shared the information.
Right, but at the end of the day, right, very importantly, the idea is that and this is why we're calling up on religious houses or institutions like yours to start now. And let's remove the segmentation about people that maybe therapy is not the right word, because
counseling.
At some point I was in a particular relationship, and the baby says, let's go counseling. I'm like, what's going on?
That's what I mean. I feel like a lot of people would never really be open to counseling.
I promise you, when I started
with her
to just, and it didn't have to be like it had to be like a respected elder that both of us knew together.
Yeah.
And I went to men. I realized that because in a multitude of people, there's counsel.
safety. Yeah.
So with all the counseling, why are you still single, bro?
Just focus on Ogbolor. That's not the
No, we're talking about both of you. Why? Honestly, with all the wealth of knowledge that you've had, and we're still talking about the dating scene. So why, with all the wealth of knowledge you've had, experiences and everything in counseling, why are you still single?
Because I say sometimes.
What do you mean by some?
So it's
just like men now, that married men that say, I'm sometimes married, sometimes single.
Married men will say, I forgot.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't know.
So you're trying to dodge the question, no? But I'm just trying to understand if maybe
so
you
what,
yourself
I'm not dodging the question. I've had, in the past I had relationships, I know, but again, one of the things I've also learned how to do is to first, whenever I ask this, I'm carrying this question, whether I'm in a relationship or not, I go the legal way. And the legal is, are you married or you're not married? Right?
So even if you're in a relationship and you've dated for 5-6 years,
You are
as far as you're not married,
You should not
you're
be dating
single.
for 5-6 years.
I dated for 5 years.
No, that's
right?
you mentioned your
Not
husband
6
in
years.
school. You mentioned your husband in school. I will not date a lady now for 5 years before I marry her.
It
Why?
probably worked for you. I mean, it doesn't really work
No,
for
but
you.
if
Yeah.
I
It's not
if
too
I
good
can
for
date
the
for
woman,
5
actually.
years, yes, it's not even that. If I met the babe in school like you, of course, then that works. But I should now start 5 years journey.
Yeah.
That's the Harvard course time or MSc, 2 MSc.
So that means from one walk up to another walk up.
Doesn't make any sense. It does a lot of things to you, right? But I mean, I'm saying that if you started earlier, like when I was in year 1 and now, of course, that makes sense. I've had a 3-year relationship before, right? In the past, from school.
And then it grew.
And it grew, and then we didn't work again because we had grew, that process. Yeah.
But people are, sorry, because you mentioned something earlier. I mean, why people aren't. I think Nigerians are gradually getting into that, begin to accept therapy gradually. We're getting there.
We need to.
We are?
Yeah, we're getting it gradually because things are getting messed up. We get
Yes, I
the
think so.
dating, in fact, marriages. That alone, all of the divorce and all of the negative gist you are hearing about
All the
marriages,
NDA, DNA tests,
and yeah, all of
a
that
lot
is
of-
messing the mindset of single people. It's messing with that. So, like he said, I mean, more people need to be encouraged to do counseling for people who are single, not just preparing to get married, but to set your mind
Just
right.
to understand how sometimes to even sorry to cut you short. Sometimes you even understand how how to respond to a woman.
Yeah.
You can give the best advice from outside. It's called map knowledge. It's like you can say, "Oh, I know worry. It's beside Delta. It's beside this one." But you cannot know worry like person will grow inside worry.
Exactly.
Just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you do that,
Yeah.
so there needs to be actual on this, because when you start dating, you understand that the women sometimes can have mood swings. You
By
should
God's
know
grace.
Can have
how
12,
to yes.
12 in 2 days.
So you
And the man
understand
also
what mood.
needs to, you understand that this person is also trying to do this. As a woman, everybody needs therapy, I promise you.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. People associate therapy to
counseling,
like
yeah.
you must be mad first before nah.
And it's just counseling.
And people also need to just understand that your background may be coming into play in your dating, in your dating experience.
personal
Your background
experiences.
alone.
Your personal,
I've had personal experience.
like
that
the
made me go to
girl
therapy.
had, like from your own background or the person you were dating,
No, so what happened was that we didn't even date. It was just like somewhat a
talking stage,
companionship. Let's use the word companionship.
situationship.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you're using.
No, fill in the blank space yourself. Or whatever it is that you
prefer
think.
our to your own. Your own is too. No, it's a lot. But I would say that I had experiences that called me to say, so you're waking, it put out triggers in me. I said, I have this.
Yeah.
So, and this was, can I share?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Safe space.
Yes, safe space.
No, I just had somebody that I had this person categorically 3 times we went on a date, and let's say we agreed 9 p.m. At 8:30 she put on her phone.
Put off. Why?
That's just mad in Lagos. Not mad though.
And she'll meet you there, or she would just
No,
she won't
come
show
again.
up.
So she did the first time. Then in between she attended. We went on a date. And the second time she did the third time, and so I realized that.
I mean, she did not like you.
No, it's not about that. I'm telling you that people are having mental circumstances.
There's coincidence.
Do you understand? And then I realized that it triggered something in me to understand how I usually don't like to wait for people who I like to, because there was a part of time in my primary school where I would wait for my mom to pick me up repeatedly. And she would call me because she had to work at the time. My dad was working. So I just realized that why was I getting annoyed so much, and why was I allowing this kind of person to treat me this way? Because once you understand who you are, there are some things that you should shank off and say, oh, after the first time you should have been, I beg. But there's something inside of you that is permitting it. There's a child inside of you
that is calling for.
That's calling from, and that's why a lot of people have daddy issues, mom issues,
and
people
don't
have
know that they
anxiety.
do.
They don't know that they do.
No, me, I knew I had that.
Some people would never come
I
to
knew
terms
I
with those
had-
things.
I knew I
That's why
had daddy
therapy is
issues.
important. You get to find yourself. There's some questions you will be asked
Yeah.
that you were never ready for. Like you were never ready to answer.
So
Some of those
until
things
I
were
went through
unlocked
that,
off. Yeah, you know.
Until I went, I was like, okay.
You did not
And
know.
I became better.
I like how, you talked about something like this because, I was gisting Ogbolor before, we started the show, how there were certain things I used to look out for in people. So I already had like daddy issues, sort of. And so there were certain triggers I had that if I saw a guy doing, automatically I switch off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done because you're doing something like this the way, I used to see maybe this person, act and all
Or a
of that.
parent or something.
Yeah, so I was always, it was so quick for me to switch off. And that brings me, to talking about red flags. What are red flags? How do you find red flags? Because most oftentimes I have seen that red flags to some people are relative. Do you understand? Because like we woke ladies, hallelujah, amen. We're always like, if a man should slap me, I'm out, which is, very, which is obviously right? When we talk about physical abuse and all of those things. They talk about all those things. But to some people, it's okay. I've heard a woman say it's all right for a man to discipline me because he's the head of the house. So oftentimes I've seen that, red flags are very...
Say that again.
I said, I'm telling you, people... Yes, a man. There was time a man. There was the time a man was trying. They said he beats his wife because he has to correct her if she does anything wrong. Put her in a place. I've seen a woman that says, as a matter of fact, I had a girl who, hey Jesus, I'm casting him, but someone dated my brother, and if they were having an argument, if my brother, she wants him to shout and beat her. I'm telling you, fun fact.
I would have separated.
They've separated. Fun fact.
Because that could raise something else in the brother.
Yes, because she's like, if you're doing this, it means, why are you talking to me softly? It means you're soft. To her, if she felt like he wasn't exerting his dominance on her.
As a man.
You should date a lion. That's not your brother.
I'm telling you. So there are ladies like that. You find out that, red flags are relative.
Yeah.
So what are red flags as a relationship coach when you're talking to people and your experiences as well?
Red flags, basically, the things that you can note, in the way you relate with a person, that is not in sync with what, what you expect as a person. Again, I'm very careful with this talk of red flags because I've come to find out that certain people are starting to really misuse that word.
Red flags.
Red flags.
And narcissists.
You get, yes, and narcissists.
Everybody's a narcissist.
Because now, red flags, because there are certain things that will be unlocked in your journey through a relationship that is maybe serious, that is supposed to help you. For example, I have a friend, I won't mention his name, he's very popular. He's a comedian too, very popular. And who has crazy anger issues. Crazy anger issues. And in fact, right now he's on one of the... Okay, let me not go that route. But
see, my mind is working like... I'm trying to decode.
If I mention this one, I'll say, okay, you stream it down to, okay, let's say that this guy...
Try me.
No, I'm not trying anything. Your level of intelligence fits... but then he refused to accept the fact that he has crazy anger issues. So anytime he meets a lady who just, becomes a babe at some point, who just probably needs some type of attention, he just calls it red flag. Now, this is something within him that, how do I explain it now? She's the one who, she's just been a girl. She's not doing extra. She's just been a babe who needs attention at some point from her boyfriend.
Oh, you didn't call me.
You get, normal. You are the person who has this thing within you. Now you see the other person and you say, this particular thing you are doing, I don't like it. I don't like this. Is a red flag for me. I don't like it's a red flag for me. People have used this thing called red flag instead of addressing some things within themselves that is probably not okay, that they need to work on. For example, my friend who, this thing had made him break several relationships. And when you hear him say it to someone else, he explains it by casting the babe, saying that babe, she knows she's always too demanding and all of that. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the thing is that you had issues. Did no one ever
tell him that he had?
Some friends really don't tell friends. There's some friends that you cannot even really tell stuff to. Some people are, but at some point I told him, we had that discussion, like, guy, I've seen this thing happen several times. You are the red flag.
I'm just gonna look for everybody.
If I say, man, bro, you use and take tie wrapper, use and take so cloths, you are the red flag. Oh, no, guy. From a brother to a brother, because I love you as my guy. I got to tell you the truth. See. It wasn't those babes. Now you. Sometimes we point fingers to people.
Yes.
You get, instead of looking with them. We may be the problem sometimes, but that's just on the side. But again, red flags, you see some things in a person or in the course of your relationship that you know this thing, your standards as a person, this particular thing is going against your standards. You get, so those could be red flags, you know. Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you ignored red flags in your relationship?
I did.
What was the red flag and what did it result
The
to?
breakfast I was served.
Okay.
I ignored this thing because I did not take it seriously. Now, the babe had dated 2 people before me, and in the course of our gist, she had mentioned this thing. No guy ever leaves me, I leave guys. Yeah? She had mentioned it. And for me, I did not take it seriously. In my mind, I'm like, oh, come on, I'm going to love you right. You know, I'm going to love you right. For my mind, now maybe the Brian McKnight, you know. And of course, I did love her right, actually. You know, but again, at the end of the day, try to do everything possible to be the best boyfriend. Like, in fact, just wanted to be the best guy, you know. At the end of the day, she finally left me for somebody else and then left that one for somebody else, you know, and then, of course, left that final somebody else. You know, I'm not going to go into all of that detail. But at the end of the day, this was a red flag I should have noted, you know, earlier. Because at the end of the day, it was the same thing she had mentioned that I saw her do
to you.
To me. You get. So I ignored that. I didn't take it seriously. Back then, I thought I could solve the matter by actually, you know, doing something. So at the end of the day, people are who they are. Sometimes you can't really change people.
Yeah. So, you know, talking about this red flag thing and this example that you've given, do you feel like a relationship coach would have prevented that? So what I mean is, do you think, so if we come to meet a relationship coach now, we don't even, like, because I'm sure when she said that, you didn't even think that, you know, it was a red flag.
I wasn't a relationship coach then. I was just a lover boy.
Yeah, you were a lover boy. No, I know, but that's what I'm saying, like, you know, couples who, like maybe a couple right now who's going, maybe the girl has said, oh, people don't leave me, I leave the girl.
Yeah.
You know, I leave the guy and all of those things. Now, they don't even know, it's just gist to them. And they don't even know that there's an issue, right?
Yeah.
And then they now come and see a relationship coach, and maybe along the course of the conversation with the coach, this kind of conversation, you know, pops up.
Yeah.
So at that point, what do you think is the role of the relationship coach in that? In that you know, conversation? Will they? No, you can also answer. Is it that the relationship coach will help the girl find out maybe there's an underlying issue, or she will help you as the guy find out that this one where this girl don't they talk this all these times, she might leave you. So to prevent future heartbreak and break fast, I think you should wisen up. What do you think the role of the relationship coach would be in that scenario?
Sure.
Or what it would prevent?
Yeah, so, and I mean, I'm coming from the angle of relationship coach or counseling or therapy. I think all falls in the same bracket. First of all, my red flag is if you're eating roasted corn, can't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Can't buy roasted corn on the road. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I don't like roasted corn. I think that for me, one of the most, you know, predominant red flag would be that if somebody cannot actually resolve conflicts. You know, conflict resolution is big in this country. We don't know. We can't. That's why somebody in that will stand and say, you can't do this. People don't know. People can't take that. People can tell them no.
Yes.
You know, it's a big thing. However, the idea of a relationship coach or counselor or therapist first is to make you know who you are. First
as a person.
If you don't know who you are, identify your traumas and complete yourself. You don't know what you don't like. Because you take different things.
Yeah.
I mean, to know that I am Isaac, I do this thing, and then you come to, it's like what I'm doing now, and you say, Isaac, I want to invest in your business, I want to give you 1 billion naira. And I now say, I want to go and use it to sell phone. You know, I'll be like, no, that's not what I do. You want to invest in somebody that's selling phone, maybe go and meet this guy. Me, I do XYZ, events, tech, this, about. Let's invest in this. So it's until I know what I am doing and who I am before I'm able to identify. And that's the job of people like that. And that's why I said that we need to take this seriously, even as individuals, to know. So from his story about his friend, if you know who you are and have relationship advice and know that, before relationship advice, that you know who you are. I have anger issues. Let me treat.
But some people are delusional.
Yeah.
A manipulative person will never say I'm manipulative.
No, so see, there's a thin line between even being very intelligent and overshadowing manipulation. In fact, I think that at some point, if you are too intelligent for your partner, you manipulate the person.
Yes.
See,
So our
because
intelligence has to be
tendency.
on the same level.
like you not the same level,
You must
but
manage it properly.
like you must manage it. Like
And again, sorry to cut you. I think this is very important. Even while dating, have someone you're both answerable to.
exactly.
Accountability.
Yes, it is very important because they will keep you level-headed.
What if the person? Okay.
Because people don't like see what I'm saying about
People are just dating.
The biggest issue about relationships is communication.
It's communication.
Yeah.
For you and I married or dating, and what happens is that I offend you, and you're like, okay, and then you're breeding something inside of you, and then one day you burst open, I burst open. Meanwhile, what we can just say in the beginning is, babes, the latest of things, just have that conversation.
Yeah.
But what therapy would do to you is to know that I have anger issues. What do I do? How do I check myself?
Check yourself.
How do I make sure? And so if that your friend has known,
Yeah.
what will happen is that when he finds that thing, you will not, because you know that you're not perfect, you give an excuse for the other person.
Yeah.
And that other person say, okay, you want attention, I will give you. And then both of them will not compromise. You say, let me try it. Because anger issues are one of the most, I can say that,
It's one of the biggest problems.
and a lot of men go through, even women.
Yeah.
I've been with someone before that stormed me plates. And my eye cut.
What did you?
I've been someone that's destroyed my phone
Can you imagine?
Like
because
anger.
she thought, yes, now.
yeah.
She thought you were.
My eye
She
burst.
thought, you see, you thought and then you caught somebody cheating, but there's also, I thought you were.
This one is not even
She just
cheating. This one is just
Yeah.
argument in life.
People are not okay. Oh.
And she just went to the kitchen.
Everybody
Or she
is
was
rubbing makeup
eating.
and
holding
doing
the
big boy.
plate.
A lot of people are not okay. So what counseling and therapy probably does is, like he said, makes you find yourself.
Find yourself.
You know, before we started shooting nights, I spoke about that self-discovery thing. People need to go through it first before you start dating.
It even
before
tells how
get
you
into
treat
it.
your own colleagues
How
and
you
stuff.
treat your colleague
Because
and
if you
stuff.
don't know if you don't know yourself, like you said, man, you will not even know the things to avoid. You will not know the things to
Things to
accept.
do,
You will
yeah.
not know the things to work on. There's a lot. You know, so people need to go. It's not just about, okay, I just got emotional today and then we start a relationship. No, you may go down and start dealing with somebody's background. So you need to
That
take care of
background is
yourself
absolutely
first.
important because I feel like a lot of people, even good. So that's why I'm never really hard on people when I see them do certain things because I feel like even the bad people today were good people yesterday. That probably maybe
Some have been bad all their life.
yeah, but
I don't know
I
about that analogy, but
Some
okay.
came from bad homes.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, we're all good people, and it's your experiences that shape you into
Yeah.
a character
Yeah.
that you are. And you know,
But don't give excuse, learn. Because when everything is tough until when you want to learn, until sexual positions. Nobody teaches you, you learn, you pick it up and learn it.
I know, but some people teach. We had a sex coach on this couch.
No, that's not my point.
There are
is
some that are, you
people
can
who are
create
trying
on the
easily.
go.
Yeah, that people, like I'm saying that people,
I heard one day, prison
if-
break. I said,
Prison break. and
No, but I'm
need
saying
to
that
talk about that later.
people are open to learn stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when they say change your character,
It's so
Yeah.
hard.
it's a long walk.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you talked about something, saying globalization and feminism. Do you think it has affected, the dating pool or relationships generally? Because I feel like we're all brought up a certain way where, the man is the head, the woman has, we're all brought up with gender roles and gender, responsibilities for each gender. As a man, you have to provide, you have to do this. As a woman, your place is in the home, is in the kitchen, taking. And a lot of people now with feminism and, being woke are coming to, challenge all these things and say, no, I'm not, even though there are different, definitions of feminism, especially here in Nigeria. So do you think that has affected the dating pool where there is now confusion? Nobody knows what they should do. Yes, let me ask you.
No, please.
I have to ask you because
of over how many years now?
For some reason, I just feel you should start.
yeah, I think you should start as well because you are the one matchmaking.
Yeah.
So you are seeing these people
Yeah.
from...
Again, I create an ecosystem for people to matchmatch. The way I
So
do
you don't
this
have any
thing,
personal relationship with any of them?
Sometimes
or
I
personal
don't.
conversations?
But I hear you about feminism, and it's something that I, as a person, I've embraced as a human being, and I always tell everybody that I know around me to embrace it also. And I also tell people that it's also, there are perks about it where you don't make that the base upon which you exist, and you make sure that it's also balanced, right? Like we were talking before, that the idea is for women, again, in the context of Africa, the fact that women can do more than just, I don't believe in gender roles, but I also feel like you shouldn't abandon the roles. You see what I mean? So to say that, and I was telling about how men and women should be taught how to cook.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not because of you are trying to impress the other person or help. It's a life skill.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The same thing men and women should be taught how to make money. It's a life skill. Now you can now get into a marriage or a relationship where one has to push down, I as a guy, if I know how to cook and my wife is not really a great cook, I can say, okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't find anything wrong with that, but a lot of men and even some women or mothers have an issue with that.
Yeah, so
It's where we're coming from.
It's where we're coming from.
We can't
It's
really hide
traditional.
from the traditions.
It's where we are coming from. But at the same time, what feminism does, right, is that the idea is first, you are open to change. You don't see, a woman. I remember somebody used to just tell me about she stopped dating a guy because he said, let's marry, so I'll open shop for you.
I had a friend who stopped dating a guy because of that.
What's the challenge here? And then the idea is that because modernization is something that is great to embrace, right? Very great. But both men, so what I don't like is, I don't like when people now go as an overcorrection to the extreme and now leave out the basic. You say that, oh, I'm a woman, I shouldn't know how to cook. No, it's a life skill. They're not doing it because of anybody.
Just find a balance.
Just like, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? As a guy also, if you have ever been a bachelor in this Lagos, you know that cooking is a life skill.
Very important.
Do you understand?
No, but people used to forget, because when you enter marriage, it's like,
and then guess the most important
all
one.
my cooking
Guess the most
problems.
important one. You have not even talked about it. How many marriages, which is a good thing, I hope I'm not dragged, but how many marriages have, and a lot of marriages have, I just don't know the statistics. You know how, I'm careful, I did this part.
Don't be careful.
You know how
I can see how you're trying to pick your words.
a woman, because I'm a Christian, I can't be counseled. Because you know how a woman probably provides for them. You know when they say woman can provide?
Yeah.
The idea is for a season. The general idea is, because as a man, you want to strive to be able to provide, which nullifies a couple of things in feminism also, to say that the man must be the head at all times, right? But because my own is equal balance. The man should provide, the woman should provide equally.
And it's
but
everything too.
have we come to a case where the woman no provide?
No, let's be honest. We've seen our parents do these things. I don't know why you guys want it to be that, you want to see that the man is just at home, not doing anything and just handing. It has never been like that. I know so many homes or so many people that grew up and it was their moms that paid their fees based on what they hawked on the streets. It was their moms that took care of them, clothing, everything. Their moms would be the one to put food on the table. The dad would probably say, he's still looking for a job, or maybe the dad has gone to meet a second family somewhere. We had so many people who grew up like that. So whenever we say these things like, how many homes? It's just because they are not talking about it. You will see women in normal culture will say that if you've triggered me.
That's not what I mean. I feel
I'm not taking you out of context. But what I'm just saying, you see a situation or scenarios where a woman and a man will go out. The man doesn't have the money. The woman will give the man the ATM to pay for it. Because that's what culture has said, for the ego and for this, for the man and everything. So there are a lot of women that do these things that don't talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. Again, what I said was there has to be, my definition of feminism is that men and women should be given equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Both from house chores to, for example, I don't see gender roles. If you visit me, I will cook for you, I will do things for you, right? I don't see that. A man and woman should earn. Now the context I'm speaking in, I'm not even speaking about our parents. I'm saying that in this generation we are coming, let's don't throw away the baby and the bathwater. Let everybody learn both things because it would be useful.
Yeah,
right? That's what I'm saying.
It will definitely be useful.
For this feminism thing, just to add to what he has said, again, I think a lot of ladies are also taking it to the extreme.
Yeah,
to the extreme. While we're also encouraging women to be all that they can be, which I will definitely. I have a twin sister. I was raised by a woman, so I've always had women around me who are strong women. you know. And so naturally, I tilt towards always encouraging women to be all that they can be,
yeah.
you know, but find a balance, because sometimes people take it to the extreme. And
have you ever had a friend, or I mean, since people come to you for advice, have you ever had a case or heard a case where the man is like, she did do feminism too much, and you know they said it was because of feminism that the relationship or marriage did not work?
I've had a case of a friend, you know, who definitely came to me, you know, with her case, and was always complaining about her boyfriend, not always, you know, was not always, according in her own words, if I can remember, he's not taking his role as a man.
And what does she mean by it?
Then I had to meet the guy, and then the guy said, man, she's imposing so much on me. You know, she's imposing, she wants her way with everything. Now, because she's making some good money, he's making money too, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's making some, I mean, if she's probably earning like $1 million, he's earning like at least like maybe a 950. Not so bad, you get?
Yeah.
But she, because of her nature of job and where she has gotten to status-wise, one way or the other, it had built something up. So in a way, she started imposing so much of what naturally she would allow him do. Now she wants to impose her own ways. So, and then coming to me, she explained it from the perspective, you know, where, okay, look, I've been suggesting this, she was using the word suggest.
No, that's demand.
Then I met the guy, and the guy said she's demanding this. So I had to make her understand that, look, no matter how you try to look at these things, you get a man is still a man. You get, there's still the ego part of a guy. That as a babe too, you have to find a way to massage. All right? Now, then
when
find
you want
the
to
balance.
ask for things, or when you want to find a balance?
In your communication process, you know, I mean, when both of you are communicating, rather than demand, suggest, you get, I suppose how she came with it originally. So, but my point is this, find a balance. Don't allow the fact that you've become a status higher or whatever, or you've become this, you're going for your goals and you're achieving all that you need to achieve and everything. Don't allow it get you to a point where you now carry a male energy.
So carrying a male, I mean, it's very funny, right? Because, so first of all, I feel a lot of women don't know how to transition from work to home, in the sense that maybe you have a higher position, you're used to commanding, you know, your staff and your employees. So or being a firstborn. They don't know how to transition back to being feminine or being that. But now another case, you know, to play devil's advocate and support my gender, is that a lot of women have suggested these things, and when there is no change, I feel like that's when they begin to demand. So for example, Lord have mercy. But so when this whole conversation of what do you bring to the table comes up,
which I don't think should be asked.
Which shouldn't be asked. But a lot of men, as in, correct me if I'm wrong, but quite a number of men, or some men, have just relegated the whole responsibility as a husband or boyfriend to just providing financially. And we all know that life is a cycle, it's a circle. Sometimes you can have money today and not have money tomorrow.
Normal.
So in times where your down times and maybe the woman is providing, what are you bringing to the table? A lot of men, they're not bringing any, they don't have money. Maybe they're trying to transition into getting another job or something. They're just very broke like that. But then you're not even helping out in any way. You're not doing anything in any way. So the woman goes to work and comes back, you know, maybe everywhere is still scattered. The kids have not eaten. You know, so many things are going, and then you're like, oh, you should help me. If I'm taking over from this part, like, you know, this part, why aren't you doing this? And you know, they say, a man, are you asking, so you're asking me to sweep or cook because you're the one bringing the money, or you're asking, we've seen a lot of situations
again,
like that.
in transitioning from tradition, you know, into where we are right now in society, all right, a lot of things are changing. Even men need to also change.
Yeah, I
you
think
get a lot of men.
so
Will I say change? A lot of men also
evolve.
need to evolve. You know, like he said, I mean, men should be taught to cook. You should be taught to take care of your own chores. You understand? Before the woman came into your life or whatever, you probably were taking care of these things yourself. So find a balance for the men as well. You need to also learn. I mean, if it's that kind of, in a case like you mentioned, where the woman, your downtime as a man, and the woman is the one providing, for example. I'm not married, so I can't speak for married people per se, you know, but I feel that at that point, as a guy, as a man, you should also step up. in that area. Nobody's going to turn you into a nanny per se, but if you
Yeah.
have kids at home, they're your responsibility. You need to take care of them. If
We
you have
beg
a
to
home,
differ.
take care of the home. It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
If that's your house, it's your house. Take care of the home. If those are your kids, take care of the kid. Don't naturally just put things into when the woman comes back, she come and
Should
take care
do
of her
everything.
children. Nah.
So I don't beg. I agree with you totally. I'm also just speaking from the point of I see that a lot of things that are happening with us right now is a problem of expectation also, and I always tell people that loyalty doesn't also translate back to loyalty in a particular kind of way, meaning that if I'm your guy and I pick you every day at 7 a.m., you will be doing yourself more harm than good if you think that if there's a way I am to repay you is to
Pick you up.
pick you up at 7 a.m. every day, or you pick me up at 7. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not. It's comparison is a thief of joy. So, if you feel like because I am doing this for you, I
have to
want
do
you
this
to
back.
do this back for me, there becomes, and that's why in marriage, because when you marry somebody, when you're even in the relationship with somebody, you're able to understand the person's strength and stuff.
And love language.
And love language. You're able to understand
Some people don't even
why
know that.
why a lot of things. So for example, if you marry a woman that is not very domestic, and you are accept that I can marry you,
Yeah.
it's not be say you are dating and I say because you're not domestic, I'm not domestic. But you know how we
You
can
chose the person that way.
you know
Yeah.
how we can be in the first week of relationship. Oh baby, that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Magba nanny. But you're not in between jobs, you can't afford nanny. And you are not okay, there's a place of compromise and do stuff.
Yeah.
But you're not expecting the person to do what the person has never
That's
done
never
in
done.
your 4 years
Yeah, I
of
feel like a
dating.
lot of people enter relationships thinking they can change
They can
people.
change. So, we need to also understand that if you are a domestic person, I cover with being another thing that's in a place where you are weak and I come strong. Do you understand? Because maybe when I am overly bogus, I can go things and go extra miles for you. So I can say, babes, don't worry, school will be taken care of. But you see that your 4 weeks you want to buy, we buy it for
No,
you.
buy.
Or maybe it might not even be buy now. So I don't make everything
Yeah.
about
About
money. It
money,
might just
yeah.
be. It might be something else outside. It might be gardening. It might be something else that I enjoy. It might be. I know of somebody that loves to cook, but doesn't wash plates. Do you understand?
But if the roles
So-
are switched, you
Yeah.
better not say this, I'm not domestic.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
will
domestic. Do
you
you
will become
understand?
domestic.
Now, guess what? The other thing is that I also think that as much as we put so much pressure on men for give more apart from money, I also think that there's also a couple of women that belong to the school of thought that you see that more apart from money, they don't even want it. Some men are useless to them when you don't have money.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No matter how you paint
It's
it.
not, that one. If you cannot bring that money, Baba, you are nonsense.
I'm not saying all women, right? I'm saying that some women, even when you are there with emotional support, because first, what a woman wants to know how to do is that she wants to know that you can earn money and you have dreams to take them higher from where they are. There are some women that belong to school of thought, my brother, there is no. Some women don't understand process of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even some men don't
cannot grow
understand
with
it also.
anyone.
Yes.
Even when it comes to molding
Yeah.
a woman's character, they don't understand that this person will be better. But I just feel like some women, if you can be a fine boy, if you don't have money, you have big stomach, the way you're walking safe, what's going
don't
on?
care.
They don't know how to press it. And that's the problem with wrong relationship. A lot we check out easily. We don't know how to.
Yeah, I feel like divorce
Yeah.
has given us an option.
No, we
So it's
check
like
out.
if it doesn't
Like somebody
work,
was even
we can
complaining
leave.
about she's a school teacher somewhere in Ikoyi, and how she teaches kids, and there's a new model of teaching kids where you tell them where you don't say you cannot do something, and you just tell them that no, it's actually a good thing.
You can.
So it's not that you can use another language. Oh, why is this being? Do you want to try it? It's just modeling toddlers so they
Yeah.
can see the world from a different perspective. And she said that she noticed that a lot of toddlers don't like to go through. It's difficult. I don't want to lift this. And then she tried to say, no, try and do it. You can do more. One day the parents of the child say, my child doesn't like this thing.
Yeah.
Leave her now.
So we're raising children who can give up easily on
Easily.
stuff.
On stuff. And then
Yeah.
you begin to, and she's like, oh, madam, this is a life skill that your child doesn't run away from every difficulty he faces.
Yeah.
And it might look like something as easy as just raising a cup up. But that's what
But
will
it will-
happen
yeah. It
when
should
he has
play-
massive
it should
play out
problems.
eventually in life,
That's when it will
yeah.
happen when he does this. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so people don't like to actually go through, and of course, it's wisdom, because there are some things that you have to also know God, so that there are some things that you need to walk away from. You walk away from them.
Yeah.
But there are some things you have to push through, because tenacity and consistency is the key to getting
Everything.
success. Yeah.
Do you also think age plays a role in relationships, like, just the relationship dynamics generally? Because you tend to see that, guys don't really date people their age. They date people younger. Women obviously go for someone who's older, who's more accomplished, and all of those things. Do you think that, that age bracket thing or the age gap thing plays a role in terms of relationships and expectations? Because I don't feel like we can talk about relationships and not talk about expectations.
The girl in her 20s probably has a different expectation from probably a lady in her 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in your 20s, you have more options. You can still jump around and do plenty things.
Yeah,
Time is not really saying
but I feel
so
like
much.
that's what's a problem, because maybe guys in their 30s, for example, you've already probably figured yourself out to a certain extent. You're getting ready to settle down. Also, a lady in her 30s is definitely in fact, her family is forcing her to settle down. But then when the guy now dates someone who's 20, she just left school. No, she's just finding life and trying to discover
sometimes it's a wrong move on the part of the guys. You have to know what a lady in her late 20s is coming to her womanhood. A lady in her early 20s, early 20s mostly, is still in her, there are plenty of fishes in the ocean, part in her life. As a guy, if you date or intend to marry a lady in that age, it's a big risk. It is.
So when you try to date, what age do you consider age? What age do you go for?
I mean, for me, I'll either date or get married to a lady who is in her late 20s.
So like 30s. 3 years younger or older than you, or
there may not be a particular, not necessarily. For me, again, it's about how mature you are as a lady, because sometimes it's not really an age thing. Sometimes life matures you in a certain way. If I sit down and have good conversation with you and I like your thought process, I've met ladies who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who think a different way. They are a bit more cultured, a bit more, they don't calm down. They're not hopping from car to car, they're not being excited with everything. This guy cannot just come and just wow them. And now they are a bit more settled, they know what they want, They're not ready for some type of life that will just excite them, and that is it. So again, it depends on those kind of conversations I can have with a lady. So it's not really I've dated a lady before who was probably 7 years younger than me, But again, it's because she did. Again, it's because women. I
think we mature.
Women mature faster. I mean, scientists have been able to prove that women mature faster.
Do you agree?
They mature faster mentally.
Yes,
you get a lady who is a guy who is 22 and a lady who is 22 are both thinking differently.
Yeah.
Baba is still grooving hard. The lady she's looking a little bit towards, if I see a guy now, marry me. Yeah. The marriage thing can be coming into conversation somewhere. A guy in his 22, Baba never did think to come and you get so that naturally, your expectations become different in your dating process. You get so eventually, the ladies seem to now date a guy who is a bit more mature because he is also seeing marriage, which he's also talking. I mean, it's also these things come from how we are also raised. I mean, ladies are raised to take care of. There's that doll baby that's given to a lady, and she's already taking care of inside that play with the
even
play.
When you're sweeping, is this how you sweep your husband's house?
So a lady is raised to do all of those. A guy is mostly given the toy cars, the toy guns. We are playing most times. So naturally, your minds are forming faster than that of a guy.
True.
You get so all of these things come into play. But for me, the age thing, you should be careful of what age you actually go for. Yes.
I agree with what you've said. Who do you think has more heartbreaks, guys or girls?
Is there a statistic to that?
No, I mean based on your friends, maybe girls and guys that come to me. Who do you think has?
The non-binaries.
Non-binaries. And why am I talking about heartbreak is because I'm still coming back to you, Ogbolor, especially with your comment on what Tolani Badge said, when she talked about how, 7 guys,
yes.
She had been, she had dated 7 guys, and, basically she tried to paint them that they weren't,
they were all the problem.
They were all the problem.
They're no good guys anymore in Lagos.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's one person, seven heartbreaks. So minus the one that she did not count. Exactly. So, I mean, what prompted you to comment on
the same thing about accountability. A lot of people are not accountable. People always tend to point fingers. That's why we're not learning. And from learning, you will change. From knowing certain things that could be my problem, I will change and become better. I'll know what to avoid. And like I said, you don't necessarily, that you're having failed relationship doesn't necessarily paint you as bad. You know, it may also be that you don't know how to date. There's a way to date. It's not just an emotional thing. Sometimes you probably don't even know your background. You don't know your triggers. You don't know what may be the problem on your own part. Just because you're a nice person, you think, oh, I'm nice and I'm emotional and I get into a relationship, I'm being all nice and everything, then you expect things to work out. No, it may not work that way. You may need to know certain things that may make a relationship work. People just bring emotions to the table most of the time in relationships, and it's never enough.
It's never enough. So what do you need to make a relationship work? Aside emotions, he said emotions are not enough. What do you need to make relationship work?
Our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen. Hallelujah. That's a given. Yeah. What do you need to make a relationship work?
From a guy's angle or a girl's angle, or anybody. Angle. I think to be mentally stable and know what you want.
As I'm shouting in traffic, going through traffic for 2 hours, can you be stable, Lily?
To know yourself. It doesn't mean that all these are even temperament. To know yourself. To know yourself. Knowing yourself is very important before you get into a relationship.
It's very deep. Find and know yourself.
Find and know yourself.
Meet yourself.
If you don't know yourself, you would. I used to have this theologist that says that if you don't be with yourself enough, you will use other people as a means of escape.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I always tell people that you should always be okay with being alone. I feel like a lot of people aren't okay with being alone. Yeah. And that's why after they leave a relationship, they jump into another one, not giving themselves time to heal. Yeah. And well, aside the fact that I feel like some people don't have the luxury of having time to heal. Because I mean...
Yeah, depending on certain circumstances.
Yes.
No, I don't know what is the meaning of the luxury of not trying to heal.
I mean, some people are already, you are at the point in your life where everybody around you is probably expecting you to get married. And so you are being pushed harder than some other people. So you don't have the luxury of probably waiting 2 more years to say, okay,
so
let me be out of the dating.
I don't even mention healing
comes
in time.
into
I don't mention healing in time.
So what do you...
I mention healing in knowing what exactly the problem is. The reason why it takes so much time is sometimes if you want to heal for 2 years, sometimes 1.5 years, you never really
you still have PTSD to enter into a relationship.
No, so, see, have you ever heard the thing about when you know the problem, 50% is solved?
Yeah.
See what he was just about his friend. I'm sorry I'm going back there. But that guy can be now for the next 30 years. Doesn't even know I am the problem.
Yeah.
But somebody points out, and even if he points it out to him, until he comes to a realization and say, I have anger issues. Yeah. See, if you come just to know, even if as a guy you are being randy, sometimes you don't even know that he's being randy. You just feel like, I'm a boy now. Maybe because of your friends, they just feel like, it's a normal guy's thing, and you say, so you are in that counsel of, it's okay to be, don't worry, I can have a wife and be sleeping with 4 or 5 girls, and like, what are you doing? You don't even know. But one day you come and say, even if tomorrow you're still going to be randy, but if you come to that realization first, and when you come to that realization, you now tell yourself that, do you need help? So
that's I feel like that's if the guy is the problem, or if the person is a problem. Times where you're in a relationship and it's not your fault that it happened. So for example, I know someone who dated a guy for like 6 years. And then...
Yes, but they give people couple.
she dated this guy for 6 years.
Medals and everything.
Overall best in dating. Dated him for 6 years. The guy just came out of nowhere, like they had an argument, and the guy just said, let's go on a break. And she's like, okay. That weekend, she saw his engagement pictures all over on Facebook. She saw it. And for her to go back to, what even happened?
So you're saying that this thing is not her fault, Abi?
I'm not saying it's her fault. I mean, if you've dated someone for 6 years, why are you in a relationship for 6 years if you don't feel like it's heading somewhere?
So we're not saying the first person.
No, where I'm even getting to, I'm not even saying whether she's at fault or not. But what I mean is, because she had already dated someone for 6 years, she was already in her 30s. She was already like maybe 32, 33 or something. Her parents were like, marry. What happened was the next guy she dated, they didn't even date up to 1 year. She married the guy.
And the guy has problems.
And now they're divorced.
The years you'll have used to marry, go use and date. Yeah, now you used to see her stay do you half of your life.
I'm telling you. And then why she wanted
that
to...
girl now for like 36 days, she needs to say, you wake up in the morning and say, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm not the one that made the mistake. It's not,
you know what happened for her? That was what she tried to prove when she got married. Because when everyone was like, this guy is married, at first she felt like, oh, you are the one with the problem. So she quickly saw this guy that was willing to settle down, even though he had these issues. And she settled down with the guy just to prove that she was marriageable.
Again, see, that is...
see the problem now, Abi?
Yeah.
Are we analyzing the problem?
I don't know if you're...
Because you are trying to see.
Yes,
there's nobody. See,
because these things have an effect on you.
There's
sometimes.
nobody.
You have to go through that. You must empty yourself of those things.
It's like, let me give you an example. It's just like me saying that I and Ogbolor was like, we grew up together, for example, and you now at some point have a leap in your career, and you do something else, and I'm not comparing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say, this guy don't go buy Benz. Lesson had to go buy Benz. Meanwhile, if you have 40 million, you buy Benz of 5 million. You do all right. Me, I have 6 million. I want to buy Benz of 5.9. Yeah. Just so that I could level up. Because the moment you understand that you're the only one in this life, the better for you. You're the only one. Forget your family. It's just a place to breed. Yeah. So you understand that I'm not trying to, actually, prove to anybody that I'm somebody.
Yeah.
I just want to, because it's just like, even when in life, you want to blow, but you see, longevity is better than that's why they say direction is better than speed, right? If she took her time 2-3 more years, but
time, biological clock.
But the same people who pressure you into getting married will not be there to help you when
think that you are actually late, you must have been in charge of time.
True.
We have different destinies in this world. We have early bloomers, late bloomers. The guy that built Netflix was an employee all his life to about how many years before Netflix blew. But maybe the guy that built Snapchat blew at 19. It's okay. We have different processes. You cannot build a multi-billion-dollar company at 19 and die at 25. And you can blow at 50 years old and die at 104.
True.
We all have, the only thing is that make sure that you are doing what you love.
I just tell ladies as much as, because sometimes it's easier said, to don't allow pressure come in. I know, because women, naturally you're like
we're built for marriage.
Yes, so
that's
you're built for marriage, that's anti-feminism. Don't let
no, I'm just saying
that's
naturally,
for those who want to get
I'm
married,
just saying
actually.
Everyone grew up. See, for the longest time, I was hearing marriage talk. I will pack your broken plates to your husband's house.
Yeah.
That's why if you go to any prayer meeting, whether Hallelujah Challenge, whether Shiloh, you see more women or mostly women praying for marriage.
Whether Lagos Singles Festival. We have more women.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you guys have like any counseling to talk to them before you put them into the dating pool?
You say I put them into
before you release them.
So we have like a counseling aspect where you can reach out on our bio and counselors can reach out to you.
So what's the festival about? And when is it happening?
28th of December, guys, Good Beach. It's called Lagos Singles Festival. It's themed Last Chance. Because it's the third day to the end of the year.
Last chance.
Oh, last chance, third day to the end of the year. I like it.
And so it's a trifecta of speed dating, games, and music. Amazing stuff.
Is it free tickets?
It's ticket. Love is not free.
You say love is not free.
You have to invest. The same way you invested in crypto, invest in love.
So how much for tickets?
Cheap, 8K. Early bird was closed. Early bird was 5,000. Now it's just 8K.
So anybody, no VIP table,
no, we're all equal.
No table reservation.
Everybody's single, so
and then you expect more than 2,000 single people.
Wow, married people we cannot come inside.
We are working with Ikoyi Registry. If we see your name, we arrest you.
What if it's the Keja I registered in?
We collect the database.
Straight up.
Well, are you going?
I should go.
Yeah, I think
I should go actually. No, I'm at the point in my life where
you have a complimentary ticket on you, by the way, if you want to.
You're ready to settle down?
No, of course. I am whole enough to the point where now I want to take care of a woman. No, that's for me right now. It's a different mentality. I suppose I want to marry you because I want to know. Now I want to take care of a babe and just enjoy it.
So you've heard it. Ogbolor wants to take care of a woman.
Yes.
If you are interested in being taken care of,
reach out.
Please reach out to my DM. I'm the one okay, Isaac and I are screening the ladies that Ogbolor is gonna.
Yeah,
so we'll just say Ogbolor. Okay, we have Item number one. That's why I said we'll screen her for you. Don't. We got you. We will not
And you can
allow
also
you.
come on Pierre, where we can link you up to restaurant dates with women.
This one.
Restaurant dates.
Okay.
Oh, you
And they
so
can go Dutch also, so it's no pressure.
where was anyway? Me, it's not like I was. I wasn't
we're-
in the market for long.
We're not on the
I
streets.
wasn't even looking for love. Love found me and tied my throat and dragged me into marriage. But it's fine. Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you so much, Ogbolor. You guys made today
Thank you
really,
so
really
much.
fun. Thank you for holding it down. Demand them. I think I hope I represented my sisters very well.
Yeah, you
You'll
did.
be here today. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you all so much for watching as well. If you have any form of comments, any form of contributions, please don't forget to comment down in our comment section so that we know what you have to say. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, just let us know. And of course, don't forget to share with your family and with your friends. Well, thank you all so much once again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. By now, you should have subscribed. And of course, engage us. My name is Buari. Thank you so much for watching The Time today. Can't wait to see you next week. And hopefully I won't be alone. My girls will be here. Bye. Good night.